Hey folks. Well, it's like I hardly know where to start sometimes, because so many of the, this happens on this post periodically. I'll feel like there's a string of unfolding things that become a series of videos. It's almost like I'm not doing one-off posts, I'm doing a series of some kind, and that has never happened intentionally as of yet, aside from maybe a little bit when I was talking about creative spirituality a few weeks ago. But it's happening again now because I'm kind of on this kick, or this track of I'm working with these amazing students. I'm working with people who are just doing such cool projects, and I'm also at the same time advancing my own creative work, and so many of the ideas that are arising are similar, or the same. Even the forms of resistance feel so connected, and so it's really, what's showing up is a sense that, I think for my own, both for myself and for the people that I'm working with, what I'm trying to create is a feeling of trust. What if we trusted the process completely implicitly, categorically, no holds barred, just had total and utter trust that it's working. In other words, that nothing we're doing is ever off track. You know, that's funny because what I thought I was going to talk about today, what had showed up a number of times throughout the day and kind of flashed for me in meditation this morning, and I've been turning it over in my mind, is this idea that, you know, I've been playing with the idea of resistance, right? And how can we make resistance our friend? I've spent the last couple of days kind of looking at that and really inviting myself and anyone who's engaging in a process of creativity to as much as we can adopt a perspective that resistance is our friend, right? We know that the creative process is going to involve stepping into territory that is unfamiliar, right? I mean, that's what creativity literally is leaning into the unknown and creating, whether we, you know, once we get our feet wet doing this, we generally often get the feeling like I'm not even doing this work. It's happening. There's something coming through me that's creating the next thing. But the step I have to take, the step that my ego has to take, is getting out of the way and letting me lean into the unknown. Well, that's like pouring gasoline on the fire of a lot of our patterns. Our patterns are designed to keep us safe. Our patterns are designed to give us security, predictability, reliable sustenance, survival, right? A lot of our patterns are programmed, if we haven't sort of dissolved them all, which very few of us have. That's what they're designed to do, is to keep us feeling secure. Well, so we decide to engage in a process that essentially unmoors all of that. That's a great way to activate a bunch of those patterns. That's a great way to find ourselves in a whole lot of resistance. So, but at the same time, if we kind of see the whole picture of that, it becomes evident that even the resistance is part of a positive process. It's not, the resistance isn't a bad thing to overcome so we can do the good thing. It's not that binary. It's much more that the resistance is a dialogue we're having with the world and with ourself. With the world and ourself, right? Our relationship, what our psyche is allowing to come through, what our emotions are carrying within them, what's coming through into the world. And so that's, I've been riffing on that for a couple of days now. And what I was going to talk about today was this idea that when we do that, there's another thing that happens, which is that our intention, whatever it is that we have decided to create, whatever it is we've said we're doing, gets a reflection. That intention gets seen and on some level taken seriously. In order to take a step forward, in order to enact, in order to manifest the vision we've had, things have to happen. Concrete steps get taken, and all of a sudden we might find ourselves wondering if that intention is actually what we want to be doing. The resistance can quickly pop up, because all of a sudden that intention is it's not just a hypothetical anymore, it's getting birthed into the world, and we're going, whoa, is this really what I meant? Does it live up to my expectations of what I thought it would be? Generally not the first time around, right? So there's all this kind of churning up of, what am I really here to do? What's really coming through me? Especially at the beginning of a creative process, like what is it really? All that unknownness kicks up this massive amount of resistance. And so I was going to talk about intention today, which essentially I just gave you the breakdown of what I was thinking. But what's come through even more powerfully is this idea of trust, this idea that what if we could just trust? What if we knew that it's all serving us, that it's all only ever going the right way, only ever ascending, only ever evolving? What if we just knew that? And so any amount of discomfort, any amount of feeling off track, any amount of critique of any part of it that was coming up, we would know, we would have to know and sort of genuinely reckon with the fact that it must all be here to help us. Yeah, so I think that's the deeper message of today. I mean, that takes me to a place of being slightly emotional, because I know how big a step that is. I know how big a step it is in my own work, and I know what it is I'm, encouraging other people to do. And it's big. It's big, but it's so beautiful. It's like, talk about starting the engine. Trust means when you turn the key, it's like you know even before the engine starts that we're headed somewhere amazing. And so all those impediments, all that resistance, all that temporary feeling of this is heavy, it's not so hard to overcome that when we know there's this amazing thing being born. So I'm offering that to myself, and I'm offering that to anyone else who's in that place, taking that journey right now. So thanks for watching, people. So much love. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.